Chapter 1, I Go to London. It's a nice summer day, and I'm on a train. Two women sit across from me, speaking English. I don't understand much because I'm still a beginner in English. But, I decide to talk to them using my basic English. Surprisingly, they understand what I say, and I express my wish to learn English. The women tell me they are from England, coming home from a conference. Our chat lasts 10 minutes, and at my station, we say goodbye. They give me their address and phone number, inviting me to visit them in England. After that, we say goodbye, and I start working on my English every day. I translate texts and watch English films. In 6 months, my English gets much better. It's good, but I want to know more. So, I decide to go to London to study English formally. In London, I go to a school. My first lesson is on Monday. I meet my teacher, a young lady who is very nice. We introduce ourselves, saying where we are from. Then the lesson begins. Our teacher asks how we study English. She shares a simple and effective method. We don't have to study or read textbooks. Instead, we need to use English a lot. This suits me well because I don't like studying or textbooks. Our teacher emphasizes that language is for communication, helping us express and understand ideas. So, the best way to learn is by using the language for communication. We'll speak a lot in our course, unlike students who only memorize words and grammar rules but don't use English for speaking. While learning new words and grammar is essential, it doesn't have to be studied extensively. Our teacher promises to show us a simple and effective method to learn words and grammar. I enjoy the lesson where we talk about our hobbies and free time, speaking in pairs or with our teacher. The learning system suits me, and I'm really happy. Chapter 2, How I Learn Words. On Tuesday, a student asks an interesting question about the best way to learn new words. Our teacher explains that reading is statistically the most effective method. Reading for at least 30 minutes every day helps learn new words quickly. The key is to choose interesting texts that match our level and are enjoyable. It's also good to read texts where we know most of the words to avoid frustration. If we encounter unfamiliar words, we can use a dictionary, but we don't have to write them down or try to remember them. The focus is on understanding the text. Reading also helps us learn how words are connected in sentences, making it an effective way to learn new words. The lesson continues with discussions about the situation in England and the best jobs for students. I'm interested in finding a job, so I ask classmates for advice. They suggest going to a job center, where I discover various job opportunities. I'm happy to know where to find a job. After school, I visit the job center, unsure of what jobs are available. I ask the lady there for the best job for a student. She suggests being a cleaner or waiter in a cafe. Although I have no experience, she assures me my English is good enough for the cafe job, offering more chances to practice English than being a cleaner. I'm thrilled to start my job on Thursday, happy to have a job where I can practice English. Chapter 3, How I Learn Pronunciation. On Wednesday, a quiet student from South Korea shares his struggle with pronunciation. He reads and watches English films but wants to improve his speaking. Our teacher explains that pronunciation issues arise when we use our mouth muscles the same way as in our native language. She introduces the shadowing technique, where we copy sounds we hear. This technique helps improve pronunciation by mimicking native speakers. Our teacher demonstrates the technique using a video from YouTube, and we try it for about 3 minutes. She also suggests using shadowing before a presentation to enhance pronunciation. I find it interesting and plan to incorporate shadowing into my routine. Chapter 4: How I Practice Speaking. Thursday brings a new student, Monica, from Italy. My teacher knows her from a previous class, and Monica shares her language learning journey. She learned English at home using reading, shadowing, and thinking aloud. Monica's success inspires me, and I want to learn about the thinking aloud technique. Our teacher explains that thinking aloud involves speaking thoughts in English, transitioning from thinking in the native language. It's effective for better speaking skills. I'm intrigued and excited to try this technique, as I have a strong motivation to learn English. Monica shares her experience, and our teacher thanks her for the insights. I'm determined to incorporate thinking aloud into my daily practice to improve my speaking skills. Chapter 5: Trying Thinking Aloud. I hear about Monica's success with thinking aloud, so I decide to give it a try in my language learning. Thinking in English instead of my native language seems interesting and a bit challenging, but I'm up for it. When I start, it feels a bit strange. Expressing my thoughts in English is not as easy as it was in my native language. I have to simplify my ideas. I begin with basic sentences like I am learning English. It is important. I want to be fluent. Practice every day is necessary. Even though it's a bit tough at first, I see small improvements over time. Thinking in simple English becomes more natural. I can express myself without translating from my native language. It becomes smoother, and I feel more confident. Feeling encouraged, I decide to use thinking aloud in conversations with classmates. It helps me communicate more clearly, even if my sentences are simple. As time goes on, I keep practicing thinking aloud during everyday activities like cooking or commuting. The simplicity of the technique makes it easy to use in different situations. Chapter 6: Exploring Different Cultures. My language adventure in London doesn't just happen in class. I explore the city's culture, go to language exchange events, and dive into various experiences. Meeting native speakers becomes an essential part of my learning. At language exchange meetups, I make friends with locals and language enthusiasts. Conversations become a mix of cultures and languages. Different accents and expressions teach me more about English, adding nuances that I didn't learn in formal lessons. Going to cultural events, like plays and art shows, lets me experience English in different ways. Adapting to various communication styles enriches my language skills. Chapter 7: Learning at Work. Besides studying, my job at the CAF is a real-world language practice. I handle daily tasks, take orders, and chat with customers. The fast-paced environment challenges me to think quickly and respond, improving my language skills. Starting the job has its tough moments, but I get more comfortable with each shift. Co-workers turn into friends, and they appreciate my effort to improve my English. They help me with pronunciation and teach me everyday expressions. The CAF becomes a small world of languages, with staff from all over. We share language tips, stories, and lots of laughter. The friendly atmosphere not only helps me with language but also gives me a supportive community. Chapter 8: Celebrating Progress. Months pass, and I look back at how far I've come in learning English. Thinking aloud is now a habit, making it easier to express my thoughts. The shadowing technique improves my pronunciation, and regular reading expands my vocabulary. I decide to reconnect with the two English women from the train. With better language skills, I reach out and thank them for their encouragement. We meet for coffee, and it turns into a celebration of my language journey. As we talk, I share my story from the train to formal lessons, cultural experiences, and challenges at the CAF. Impressed by my dedication, the women offer more encouragement and suggest advanced learning opportunities. A lifelong adventure. My time in London, focusing on learning English, has changed me a lot. What started with a simple chat on a train has become a lifelong journey of exploring language and growing as a person. Techniques from class, mixed with real-life experiences, turn me into a confident English speaker. The city's diversity, the fun at work, and the support from fellow language learners make my journey richer. Excited about the English language, I leave London feeling accomplished and ready to continue my language adventure wherever I go. Complex words in the story. Conference, a formal meeting for discussion or training. Formally, in a formal manner, following established forms, conventions, or rules. Effective, producing a desired or intended result. Statistically, in a way that relates to the gathering and analysis of numerical data. Incorporate, include or absorb something as part of a whole. Enriches, improve or enhance the quality or value of. Nuances, subtle differences or distinctions in expression, meaning, or response. Dedication, the quality of being dedicated or committed to a task or purpose. Accomplished, highly skilled, having achieved success or mastery.